If I could only do one strength exercise for the rest of my life to be a better grappler, it would easily be the pull-up. I have yet to meet a high-level grappler who doesn't have insane pull-up capabilities, insane max pull-up numbers.
How much pull-ups have you, like, one time, like one go was your max?
How clean are we talking? Talking like just your chin above the bar?
Super straight, yeah.
I mean, the most I ever did, so I did 92 once.
In a row?
Yeah, but like, I'm talking like, I'm freaking, not like a freaking this, but like,
yeah.
I'm like if I was kipping, it'd be like this, like kind of like that, right? Probably only, I could probably do like, maybe 60 now.
If I'm doing like a heavy pull-up.
What was the most
like
pull-ups you've ever got?
I think the most I've ever gotten is 50.
50?
Like just right in a row, I don't know. Like,
good form?
They weren't like super clean, but they were like not terrible.
Right.
Whether it be wrestling, judo, MMA, or jiu-jitsu, having a high number of pull-ups and having great pulling strength is an indicator of having great match strength. Matter of fact, having great pulling strength is a necessity in these grappling arts. You need great pulling strength in order to snap the head down, pull in an arm for an arm drag, pull in a leg for a single leg takedown, or just in general throw a man and horse a man around. The traps, the lats, the upper rhomboids are all crucial muscles in pulling your opponent in and getting the submission in a choke or getting the leg for a takedown. Also, you not only need to perform this pulling strength one time in a match, but you need to be able to display great pulling strength for several minutes in these grappling matches. And not only that, most grappling events consist in a tournament format where you'll do multiple matches in one day. So you'll have to perform this muscular endurance. So therefore, you need to have great pulling strength endurance. There is no better exercise to train pulling strength and pulling endurance than the pull-up. Pull-ups are simple yet effective. It requires minimal space. You just need a pull-up bar that can support your weight and you can do pull-ups on. Heck, you can even go on Amazon and buy a cheap $20 pull-up bar and hang it up in your bathroom doorway and get a couple pull-ups in. There are absolutely no excuses as to why you cannot get your pull-ups in as a grappler. Furthermore, there are tons of variations to the pull-up in order to not get bored with the pull-up. You could do pronated, you could do supinated, you can do neutral grip, you can throw a towel on there, you can do banded pull-ups, you can do iso holds, you can do weighted negatives, just regular weighted pull-ups, weighted with all those variations. The possibilities are endless, and this makes pull-ups even that more effective. Pull-ups are also a very safe exercise to perform in comparison to other exercises in the gym. For example, like the squat and deadlift. You require some technique to be learned in order not to injure yourself. But the pull-up doesn't really require a whole lot of technique. Sure, there are some techniques that you need to hone in order to particularly isolate the lats, but for the most part, you can just grab the bar and pull yourself up. And there's really no explanation to it. Pretty self-explanatory exercise. And if you get fatigued and you start to fail, you just drop down from the bar. Little risk of injury with the pull-ups. Improving your max number of pull-ups you can do in one set is an easy way to gain strength that can easily transfer to the mats. For example, on the Tim Ferriss podcast, he had on Charles Poliquin, a world-renowned strength and conditioning coach who worked with Helen Maroulis in 2016, who was a freestyle Olympic gold medalist, and he helped her gain significant strength on the chin-ups, which she says contributes to much of her success on the mats in that 2016 Olympic gold medal run.
I figured out if you get strong at chin-ups, that should help you with takedowns, snapping the neck, reversals, and so on, because the lats and the elbow flexors are prime movers in those movements. So I've only trained for the World Championships, Helen, for 3 times 6 weeks. And when she started with me in January, she could do 0 chin-ups. And she did 2 supinated chin-ups with 27 kilos 5 days before she left for the World Championships, which she won. For Rio, I trained her 6 weeks on Christmas, 6 weeks in the spring. So the total of strength training was about 12 weeks in preparation for Rio. And she managed to do 2 pull-ups on the rings with the 30 kilos the day before she flew out to Rio. And she won an Olympic gold, and everybody credits strength as being one of the major factors why she won.
There's also been numerous research articles about pull-up strength and the direct correlation of success in wrestlers. For example, in this study, they gathered the data of 168 elite freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestlers and separated them from successful and unsuccessful. On average, the successful group performed around 34 unbroken pull-ups, whereas the unsuccessful group performed an average of 27 pull-ups. In another article exploring the physiological profile of Iranian wrestlers, they showed that the heaviest weight of 120 kilograms could perform on average 20 pull-ups, which is a lot of freaking weight to pull up 20 times, and that is impressive. And the lowest weight class of about 50 kilograms could perform 40 pull-ups in one go, which is even more impressive and crazy grip strength. Both are elite numbers and prove the importance of developing great point strength for grappling. Chads, I hope this video inspires you to get out there and do some more pull-ups. I hope your pull-ups will increase tremendously. All right, how I would like to do these, if I was focusing on getting my pull-up numbers up, I would train it 3 times a week. All right, one day would be 5 reps max, but it would be weighted, so that way I'd train my strength in it, rest 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours, and then I would do as many reps as possible for 3 sets, and that would work my endurance, my muscular endurance. Wait a little bit longer, another 2 days or so, and then I work on my speed, okay? Whether if you have to use a band to make sure you're hitting that correct speed. Low reps, but you know, kind of like a conjugate method where you do 10 sets of 3, where you're on the pull-up bar trying to hit it as fast as you can, or you hit a pull-up and hit a clap at the top, just working that explosive power, all right? But if you want to get those numbers up on the pull-up bar and you want to make it a main focus, I would hit pull-ups at least 3 times a week. But yeah, hopefully you're inspired. I hope your numbers increase so you can go out there and horsecock on the mats. I'll talk to you Chads later.